Hello and welcome back to another episode of Robinson Raceway. Been off for a couple of weeks, ill, hence marks on my face, can't help that, but we're going to talk today about the Scalextric cars that I had as a kid, which got me hooked on slot car racing.
Racing fire, hear the thunder roll.
Okay, we're going to start with the obvious one. My dad's hand-me-downs, of course, because as I've said before, this hobby is dads all the way down. The dad passes to the kid, who passes to the kid. That's how it goes. And my dad, when he was younger, I'm going to say a kid, but yeah, he would have been a kid, got in the 1960s a Scalextric set, which had the Javelin and Electra cars. The two that a lot of people had, blue and orange in my dad's case, but they came in yellow and green and all sorts of colours. But these were the ones that he had, and he passed them on to me. These cars were fantastic. They don't look fantastic these days, but they still have that nostalgia factor that makes me love them nevertheless, because it's the cars I raced as a kid, you know? Now, my dad wasn't massively into the amount of cars that I would have for a Scalextric set, and still isn't, to be honest with you. He's said to me many times, I don't need more cars. I keep offering to get more James Bond ones, you see. But what he does have is a lot of the scenery items, so stuff like the viewing gallery, the Dunlop bridges and all of that, you know, the sort of thing, the stuff that goes around the outside, track accessories and all kinds. And I have to admit, those really do enhance a set, and to a certain extent are probably why when I'm considering what I'm building for Robinson Raceway, I'm thinking mostly about what's around the track than what the track is itself, because the track is the track, you know? You click it together, it will make a good race, but the scenery is what tells the story to a certain extent. I'm very big on story. So we had the Javelin and the Electra, blue and orange. I think the Javelin was blue and the Electra was orange. And we raced them all the time. They weren't in as good condition when I left the hobby for a bit to go to university as they had been when my dad passed them down to me, let's put it that way. To be honest with you, neither of us were that easy going on the corners, so they did come off a lot while we were racing together. But they lasted, and to be honest with you, I fixed up the little brushes at the front of the car over Christmas when my dad and I were having a session on his Scalextric, and they still work just fine. Love them. Great stuff. Huge nostalgia. Absolutely wonderful. But they weren't the only ones, because my dad also had one of the minis. The racing C7 Mini Cooper from Triang era of Scalextric was the one that my dad had as well. The deep green, and it was wonderful. I remember it so well. My dad always said it was my mum's car. I think she liked the Mini, and when he'd been racing alongside my mum when they were courting before I came along and messed everything up for them, I suppose, then that would be the one that she would race with. And it was a classic. It still looks damn good to date. There's something about the Mini Cooper that it doesn't matter whether it's highly detailed or more toy-like, it still looks good. It's still got that presence, and if I had that car still in my collection, I would still adore it now and race it now, but of course it's in my dad's collection. But that was the one that I had as a kid, and I will have one eventually, a Mini in my set. I don't know what I'm going to have yet. It's probably going to be a Cooper, and it's probably going to be painted up in a racing livery, but I don't know exactly what yet. It's something that's still on my mind, and I would talk more about it if I thought my friend Andy would allow it, but I don't think he's got his plans for an idea that he's got fully set, so I'm going to leave it with that. Watch this space. But yes, the Mini Cooper is a classic. I think we all know that it's a classic, and if you don't have a Mini Cooper in your collection, wow, what are you racing? Hypercars? But that wasn't it either. There was another one that my dad got from a friend, and I think he got it from a friend because his friend's kids had stopped being interested and passed it on because I was interested. And that's the Motorbike and Sidecar. I think we all remember the Motorbike and Sidecar. The one I had was bright yellow, and I adored this thing. Raced all the time. It was a fantastic runner. Much smaller than most of the other vehicles, as you would imagine, but it still had a presence. And although it had guys in both the motorbike and the sidecar with blue helmets, the sidecar guy didn't have a blue helmet by the time I graduated and moved on to university and all of that, because, once again, very rough on the corners. I need to learn to slow down. But that motorbike and sidecar is a classic. If you haven't got one in your set, I recommend having a look at them, because they're actually pretty damn good. They grip the track pretty well, they're good for racing and a lot of fun. And then I started considering getting stuff for myself. So we've had the stuff that my dad had, we've had something that was donated by one of my dad's friends, and then I bought my first car. And this wasn't a huge amount of time before I started going into gaming and RPGs and things like that. But I still had a love of Scalextric, and I wanted a car that was wholly mine. It wasn't something that I'd been given, it was something that I could personally feel like I'd added to this set. And it's still around, it's in my dad's collection, as I recall. I think I saw it at Christmas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. And that's the Sierra Cosworth racing car in white. Now this thing was amazing. I remember the Firestone written across the front of it. It's a great car. It looks a bit toy-like now. It's from the 90s and it's quite toy-like in comparison to what we've got now. But this thing was mine and I loved it. It had lights, which the other ones didn't. It ran so well. It gripped the track the way that the older ones hadn't. And if you raced it against anything else, it always won. That was just how it was. It was a quantum leap in terms of motor power and grip and all of that. And I loved this thing. It was in my bedroom for a decade at least, until I actually graduated university and everything got packed up. And the day I left for university, my sister took my bedroom and made it her own. Like, she'd been waiting for years upon years to get that room. So it ended up in a box and it was just gone. That's just how the nature of siblings, isn't it? But that car was incredible for the time, and I still love it now. I'm going to add one to my collection. In fact, one of the things that will end up happening with Robinson Raceway is I will have all of these that I've just talked about here in the collection at some point. I'm not going out of my way to try and rebuild it right now or anything like that, but they're on my to-do list. And the first one will be one of those Cosworth in the Firestone. Oh, it was so good. But guys, that's my collection that I had as a kid. Not a huge amount. To be honest with you, back then I subscribed a lot more than I possibly do now to my dad's view of, I don't need more cars, let's just race. I like cars, they're fun. I like a good collection of them, with options for racing in different ways and essentially telling different stories. But I'd love to hear what your cars were like. What did you have as a kid? What do you miss from your collection now, if you've still got your Scalextric and you don't quite have all of the stuff that you had as a kid? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation, because let's face it, we all like a little bit of nostalgia, don't we, and seeing where we've come from and where we're going to. But for now, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson. You've been watching Robinson Raceway. Take care, happy racing, bye for now. I'd like to give a big shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Without you guys, I really couldn't continue making all of these shows. And if you would like to join our fantastic Patreon heroes here, go over to patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. It really does help us out. Thank you so much, guys.